Hey, hey, everybody. Happy Monday to everyone. Thank you guys for joining me here in the candy shop. And we are going to be getting into it about all things Real Housewives of Potomac. Sorry, the StreamYard is not working. I know there's still that weird disconnect. I might have to find another streaming platform if StreamYard cannot get their act together. It's happening to a lot of content creators. So I'm going to see if there's other options out there for us so we don't have this delay. But with that being said, thank you for joining. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as you come in the room. Want to give a shout out to some of my mods. Lynette, Kit, and Scott is one of my mods right now. Thank you so much, Lynette. And I want to say hi to you guys as you come in. Yes, happy Monday to everyone. Hey, Fawnberry, she says, hello, 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 my candy canes. Yes. Lynette, Kit, and Scott says, peace and blessings, everyone. That is right. And you guys, we now have community tiers. You can be a candy cane, you can be a candy shopper, or you can be a sweet candy cane. So there's 3 different tiers if you want to join the community, and there's really fun perks that come with it. So check out the community, check out the perks, and I'll be rolling out extra goodies. So there are 3 different tiers, and you can now join. So let me know what you think about it. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Darren Hood. He says, happy Monday. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Deeper Than Skin. Yes. She goes, at Candy Mods. Hi. Yes, the Candy Canes and some love. Thank you so much, Deeper Than Skin. Deep. Yes. Hey, Eccentric Queen. She goes, yes. Hey, we are getting into it. We are getting into it. And I'm telling you, I have some thoughts on these Potomac girls. I know that the season is going to be great. And this might be an unpopular opinion because I'm liking the last 2 episodes, but it still feels a little flat to me. What do you guys think? Like, I'm excited for the full season, and I know it's going to get super, super hot. And I know things have been going on, but it just seems like a scotch flat, a scotch regurgitated stuff we've already heard. So I'm excited to get to like the new drama and the newness and everything. So let me know what you guys think. Hey, Sasha T, she says, hi, y'all. Hey, beautiful. Helena D says, hey, Candy, can't wait to get your take on Rohop. It was a good episode. Yes, that's the thing. These are some really good episodes, but I'm still kind of feeling.
It's going to make your hair
wait.
It's going to stop the shedding of your
wait,
hair.
You guys, sorry. 1 second. There we go. I'm adding a mod, so sorry about that. 1 second, you guys. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So that will be good. And then let's see here what you guys are seeing. Eccentric Queen says, I agree. Las Vegas Girl says, hi, Candy. Yes. Sasha T says, Wendy was making valid points, but her articulation came off condescending and a hater. Mia is allowed to experience people herself. That is very true, and we will be getting into that. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Hey, Miss Bernice, she goes, hey, Candy, the Candy Canes. Wendy is coming on hard again. Very, very true. Very, very true. Let's see here. All right, you guys. I'm just adding a mod real quick. So sorry for the slowness, but we will get into it. Come on, YouTube. Help a girl out. Yay. Okay, I think we did it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. I hope that worked. Klima, I'm trying to add you as a moderator, and I hope that worked. If it didn't, let me know. Okay. And then Miss T, I'm going to try and add you as well. Okay, you guys. Well, I tried. Let's get into it. We're here. No more interruptions. Let's go do this. Deeper Than Skin says, Robyn's got to go. She's hella boring. This is so true. Eccentric Queen says, also, I low-key didn't like Candace this episode. Agreed. Same. And then Young Skinny Rich says, hello. Yes. Climb Wade. Hey, she goes, Rohop is number 1 in the franchise. Yes, this is so true. I definitely think Real Hop is the number one in the franchise. Okay, so we are going to get into it. The mods that I have, I hope I added you correctly. If not, I will do it in a little bit. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I thought was, I like Mia, but I think that we have yet to see the real her. And like, I know she's new and I know that she is, you know, trying to get her sea legs and figure out what's going on. But I feel like we're kind of seeing this persona of her and this sort of like front of her where she's sort of like, she comes in and she's just like, I'm this, but there's nothing real behind it yet, if that makes sense. And I appreciate her transparency. And I appreciate her being honest about her surgeries and everything else and just being a strong woman and, you know, having met at the strip club. She said she was a bartender, but sure. Like, I'm sure he was going there for the chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that we haven't seen the real her yet. And I also noticed that I thought, oh, hey, 2B Black Native, thank you so much for the super chat, sweetheart. That's right, you guys. As you come in, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much, 2B Black Native, for the super chat. She says, hey, Candy, the lovely Candy Canes. Hey, hey, hey. Yes. So, Mia. I like her. I think she's going to be a good addition. But I still don't think we've seen the real her yet. And she kind of needs to like reel it in a bit. She's coming on a little bit too strong. But at the same time, I also like how she does stand up for herself. And I also like how she does, she stands up for herself and she doesn't let herself get hazed or bullied by the other women. And then she also makes it known that she's her own person. So at the dinner when it first came out and she's like, oh, well, I think Giselle has a good heart. I think that was her way of saying, I'm going to judge the women on my own experience of them. And I'm not just going to jump on Karen's experience of them, even though Karen is the one who brought me in the group. But I also thought that she was still respectful of Karen. Versus like in Anila, right? Where I feel like Anila really wanted to be a part of the cool girls. And she kind of threw Toya under the bus. I mean, we all have different opinions about Toya's and Toya's attitude and stuff like that. But that aside, I feel like that's sort of like the difference. Where I feel like Mia came in and she's like, I'm my own person. I'm going to meet the lady on my own terms. Let's exchange phone numbers, whatever it is. She did it in front of Karen. She did it in a respectful way. And she didn't do it simultaneously while putting Karen down, whereas I feel as Anila kind of came in and was just like, I'm going to bridge the gap between Toya and Contessa. Like, I want to get to know Contessa on my own terms. I'm going to invite her out to all of these different things and sort of doing it kind of in an undercut way and then joining in on the other girls against Toya when Toya was the one who brought you in. So I feel like you can come onto a franchise that's a new person. You can come as a friend of someone else and still stand on your own 2 feet. I think that's what Mia is doing. But I think just when it comes to getting to know her, there's more that we haven't seen yet. There's more beneath her. And I also think that, did you guys catch the interaction between her and her husband in the kitchen? Like, I kind of think all is not well in that marriage. And I never want to speak ill on anybody's marriage or revel in the demise, but it just seems to me like something is a bit off. Like maybe they're secretly fighting, maybe there is some resentment, maybe there's some infidelity going on, but it just didn't seem like their relationship was as up and kosher as they're trying to make it seem. Like he was, or if he was playing for the cameras maybe, because the way he was just like, oh, well, you're not present with the kids while making these cupcakes and you're taking call after call. And she was just like, well, you know how it is because this is what you did when you were working and I was the one at home. And now that you're home, you're doing all this. It's like, why couldn't he play with his daughter and bake the cupcakes and be like, babe, go take your couple calls. When you wrap those calls up, come back and join us. I got this. Like, why try and make it like she was being absentee mother when you're the father and you were right there? I'm super confused. It wasn't like the girl was playing with fire by herself in the kitchen. Like you were literally there. Mia's husband. I forgot what his name is. I'm just going to call him Mia's husband. Like you were there and apparently you're retired. So you're just a stay-at-home dad. So like do your job. I'm confused. like be a partner to her. Don't try and like make her look bad in front of the cameras as if she's just like letting her kids run with scissors around. So I thought that was kind of telling. Like I think there's more tension going on there than they're letting on, right? Something was off about that relationship. Again, when she made the weird stuff about the numbers and how old she was, how old he was, that was a little weird too. I think something's going on there. And then it turns out that at first I thought with Mia, I thought that the chiropractic joints were hers. Like she was this businesswoman, she was making this money, and she happened to be married also to a very wealthy man. But I think what she said in the episode was, her husband owned, I think it was like the 14 chiropractic places. And then she came in, helped manage them. And now that he's older and kind of wants to, like retire, not like retire, but, like kind of kick back a little bit more. Now she's at the forefront of the businesses. So to me, that was a little bit different than what I had heard. I mean, not that it makes that big of a difference, but it kind of still does. And maybe that's why he has this attitude about her working, because maybe in his mind, he still looks at it as like, these are my businesses, if that makes sense. And then also another thing with Mia, did you guys catch that she, I don't want to call her a liar, but maybe she misspoke. But the first episode, didn't she say the reason why she got the vaginal rejuvenation was because she had the kids and it was because of like what happened to her body during pregnancy? But then on this episode, she said that she had planned C-sections and that she got the vaginal rejuvenation surgery because her husband, like, they do it a lot, or he's like really like rough and tumble, and Ashley made some question about like pounding the bean or something like that. Right? Like, didn't the first episode, she said it was because she had pregnancy and like her body changed. But then the second episode, she was like, what are you talking about? I got a C-section and I got the surgery because we have like really wild sex a lot. Like, did anybody catch that? Like, I was just like, Mia. Like, I was rooting for you, but like things just aren't adding up with like the reason behind the surgeries, like how old you are, how old your husband is, how long you've been married, what is the age gap, and then now who owns the practices? Did you have money before him or after him? But what it's coming out to be, it seems like he met her at the strip club, they got married, he had these business practices, and then she came on, probably as like a partner or manager, and then now that he's older and wants to step back, she's taking over. Not what I thought previously, and maybe I just misunderstood, but let me know if you guys thought this too, that she had all these businesses on her own and she was this like entrepreneurial mogul businesswoman who married this rich man too, right? So let's see. What else happened, you guys? Okay, so Miss Wendy, Miss New Booty, right? Miss New Booty Wendy. If insecurity were a person, I can't. Miss Wendy, don't let your boob job, your face job, because you got work done to your face. Allegedly, in my opinion, your face looks structurally different. That I don't think is just from fillers and Botox. Again, allegedly, in my opinion, you got something done to your face. And then the butt job that she finally came clean about because she literally could no longer lie about it. That cannot be the new 4 degrees. I don't want to hear about your plastic surgery, your boobs, happiness, and your butt job every single episode. You did the kickoff first episode. We really understood the second episode that you are obsessed with your new Build-A-Body. Now we have to move on to something else, Miss Wendy. It can't be the new 4 degrees. Every episode can't be you talking about your plastic surgery. It can't be your mom saying she wants a boob job and you guys have to pay for it. And another thing, okay, remember the last time we got together and talked about Real Housewives of Potomac, right? And I said that Wendy was single black female for Monique. All of a sudden, Miss Wendy, Dr. Wendy, 4 degrees Osefo, who wanted to be a commentator, professor, she has 4 degrees. She wants to be on CNN and Fox and all these other places. All of a sudden, she's coming out with her home essentials line for scented candles. What? Where did that come from? And the name of it's called like Iago or Iaio Home Essentials or something like that. the first thing I thought was Monique's Mila Eve Essentials. I was just like, hold up. I was like, if her home essential line is essential oils, I'm going to lose my damn mind, because that is exactly what Monique does, right? She does her little cauldron with her little like essential oils from home, which apparently are really, really good. I've never had them. Monique, if you're listening and you want to send me some essential oils, girl, bring them on. I ain't too proud to beg. No, I'm kidding. But when Monique was, not Monique, but when Wendy was just like, this is my passion. I am now passionate about my home essentials line. I was just like, girl, do you like dream about Monique at night? Do you like have like peers and you're peering into her house and you just want to like crawl into her skin and like be her? Like, you couldn't think of a different word than essentials, because the first thing I thought was her Monique's Mila Eve Essentials line. It's like her essentials and her essential oils. And then all of a sudden, Wendy has a home essentials line. You couldn't think of a different word to use to brand your stuff. And Wendy, why are you making scented candles? Like, what? Where did that come from? Didn't last season she was having all those conversations with her mom being like, I want you to be proud of me. I want you to like me. I want you to love me. I don't want to be a professor anymore. I want to be a CNN person. I want to be, a host and all this stuff. And now she's coming out with scented candles. I'm so confused. I'm so like, make it make sense. I am so confused, Wendy. I'm so confused. We'll pray for you. We'll pray for you. And also, okay, so speaking of couples relationships, right? Did you guys also get a weird vibe between Eddie and Dr. Wendy when they were doing the couples partner? What's that game called? Like, how well do you know your partner game? And they were asking all the questions and stuff at Karen's love lunch. A part of me, because I do want to be objective, thought it was like really cute and sweet and endearing. And I was like, these people like really know each other. They're super in love. It's like really, really cute. It's really sappy. Like, let me not be a hater. And like, let me love this black love. Like, let me just love it. And it was like really cute and sweet. The newlywed game. Thank you, Derby. Thank you so much. But then at the other end, I was just like, no, let me put my hater hat on and look at this with some discernment. And I was just like, it seemed a little forced and a little off, and he kind of seemed like a robot, like a Wendy bot. Like, yes, Wendy, yes, this is what we do, and this is who we are, and la 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 la. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of like, did you guys pre-plan this? Was it a script involved? Like, I don't even know. I don't know. It just seemed a little like maybe they were aware that like the rumors were about to come out, so they really wanted to put together this united front. I don't know. I was on the fence. Let me know what you guys think. I was on the fence about it. I was just like, a part of me was just like, they're really sweet and they're really cute. And then another part of me was just like, is this a scheme Todd made for us? Like, is this real? What's going on here? So I just really felt like Wendy wore the pants and he kind of just like falls in line. And he doesn't want to like fall on the line with like with what Wendy says or whatever. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Let's see, who else are we talking about? Okay, so Ashley, let me know what you guys think. I thought Ashley was just kind of boring and flat. Because I'm kind of like, isn't this exactly the same Ashley we saw last season? Just pregnant, going through pregnancy, Michael being MIA. Did you guys catch, okay, this was really sad. Did you guys catch when Ashley's mom came in to visit her and the boys, and she was like, oh, like, how is Michael? And Ashley like actually sounded really excited, and she was just like, oh, like, he's doing really good. Like, he answers my phone call on the first ring now. I was like, girl, what? That's the standard? That's the barometer? You've been married to this man for how many years? You've popped out one kid about to pop, and you're this excited that he answers your phone call? What in the world is that? Like, is that really like the standard now? That you are his pregnant wife with their second child, and your standard that your marriage is in a good place is that he actually answers your phone call. I'm not anyone to talk. I am single, but I will be happily single until the day I die before the barometer of whether or not my marriage or relationship is good is if the man answers my call. Girl. I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. But it's the same exact storyline. Michael is out there dipping it and doing it. Ashley is out here just in denial, numb to everything, covering for him, and she's just pregnant as all get out. So I don't really know. Like, I like Ashley on the show. I like her. She's fun and she brings it. But again, this is what I was saying, where I feel like the episodes are good, and I know that the season is going to be great if it lives up to all of the hype and it lives up to all of the trailers and stuff. But it is a little bit flat. It's a little bit flat in little areas, but I think it's going to pick up. I think these are the foundational episodes, and it's going to pick up, and it's still good, especially compared to all the other franchises out there. So it's still good, but this is just what I'm saying, right? I'm picking at these little things. So let's see what else. Okay, Karen versus Gizelle again. Team Karen all day. Like, we just know this. Just literally Team Karen all day long. But what I will say is that I think that when Karen said Sing Sing, because I listened to a couple of other YouTube commentators and what they were saying, and some of them thought that Karen was just making up words, that she was just making stuff up, that she was just like lying about Gizelle and everything. I don't agree with that. I think that Karen was telling the truth when she said Sing Sing, she was referring to a mental health facility. I do think that is true. I heard some people saying that they didn't believe her. They thought that she was just making stuff up and making up lies. I think that is true. Because Sing Sing is the name of a like penitentiary. It's like a prison, and like it's like a ward place, right? I knew what Sing Sing was, and I knew what she meant by it. So she wasn't just making up words. I think people who might not be familiar what Sing Sing is, just because you don't know what a word is, that doesn't mean that that is a made up word. It just means that you don't know what it is. So I don't think that she was just making up words. But what I do think is that she felt bad about it. So this episode, I think that she was kind of trying to backtrack, because when she was talking to Ray and then she was talking to Gizelle, she was just like, I think I went a little bit too far. I think I said too much. Because unlike some other of the housewives, Gizelle, I do think that Karen has a bottom to her petty. And I think that she felt bad for putting it on blast that Gizelle had been institutionalized when she had her mental breakdown, when she caught Jamal cheating on her right before the wedding and everything that happened. I'm not sure if he had another baby on her at that time or not, but clearly subsequently he has. But when she caught him cheating right before the wedding, and I think maybe even another baby or something like that, and Gizelle had her mental breakdown, she was institutionalized because she had a mental breakdown. I'll say allegedly because I don't want to get in trouble, but like it's out there that she really did. But allegedly. Okay. I think that Karen felt bad because Gizelle still does have 3 daughters. And even though Gizelle may not think that Karen cares about her kids, I think Karen does care about what happens to her children, probably even more so than what Gizelle does, because Gizelle is the one bringing in these fake storylines. Gizelle is the one who treats her children like her friends and not like her daughters. So I think that Karen actually felt bad. And I think that's why she was trying to walk it back, because she was just like, I think I went too far. Like, sure, we can shade each other, but I think Karen really does have a bottom to her petty. And I think when she said Sing Sing, I think she meant, and that's why you went to I think what she meant by Sing Sing was like loony bin. Like, that's why you went to the loony bin, but she said Sing Sing. But I think she just felt bad about it, to be honest. Gizelle, to me this season, all shade aside, I'm a little bit concerned about her. Because is it just me, or does she seem a bit off? Like, just kind of like there's like a tick there. Like she seems a bit off, like very much in this like, well, you know, like me and Pastor Jamal, and you know, like COVID, pandemic, and like he was living in my phone, and like Karen, like, and she just has this like, I don't know, something just seems off with her. Maybe it's the embarrassment, maybe it's all of that stuff, but something just seems off. I know we always clown her on her clothes and her fashion, but even that has kind of declined even more so. Like every episode is just like jeans and some top. Like just because it says Chanel, that doesn't make it fashionable, that doesn't make it elevated. It's almost like, to me, Gizelle seems on the cusp of just like giving it all up. Like she's just like, I'm over it, I'm done, I'm just gonna let it all hang out, I'm just gonna let it go. So she just seems a little off, just a little off. And she doesn't really have anything going on in her life other than going after Karen, which I guess maybe that is a whole storyline. But like outside of that, what is really going on in Giselle's life? Like what is really her contribution to the show other than just talking crap, the same regurgitated, I want Ray to pay his bills, Karen, you're old, blah, 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 blah stuff. I guess later on when she comes out with the Eddie cheating rumors, I guess that is kind of her role on the show because she does do that coming out. But did you guys also notice, speaking of Gizelle, I think there is a chink between Gizelle and Robyn, right? Because did you guys catch how Robyn was shading the hell out of Giselle's house in the confessional? She was like, oh, like the inside interior is good, but outside. That she was just like, I was like, okay. Thank you so much, Tamara Augustine, for the super chat. Thank you so much, sweetheart. That's right, you guys. If you're in here and you're loving this kiki, please like, share, subscribe, and support. I love you guys for being here. Happy Monday, my beautiful candy canes. I'll drop the link. Let's get those likes up. If we get those likes up, then I will drop the link for you guys to come on and we can chat and share and have a good kiki. But I'm also not liking in the sense of like, I don't want to revel in any friendship's demise, but in the spirit of just fun, kiki shade reality TV, I would like to see Robyn and Gizelle go head to head. Like, and we're seeing it more like little glimmers of Robyn coming out from under Giselle's shadow, you know, shading her house. And then last season when she like didn't have her back, when Karen was like, oh, well, he lives in your phone, and you ask everybody to spill the beans about their relationships, but yet you don't tell anything about your relationship, right? So yeah, I think she was like, you know, Karen kind of has a point. And then again, when Gizelle is trying to put out this fake storyline that the reason why her and Jamal didn't work out was because of the pandemic, which is BS. We all know why they didn't work out, because they were never really together in the first place. And he was out there having multiple children and multiple women and not giving a damn about it. Robyn didn't really play into it. She didn't outright call her a liar, but she was just like, okay, So and she was like, well, if the pandemic ended today, like, how would that work out? Do you know what I mean? And then she also said in the confessional something like, oh, I thought that like there's nothing really to break up because they were just getting back together. Like it wasn't even really back full force, right? So we're starting to see Robyn really step out on her own and sort of call Gizelle on her BS at times, which I'm really starting to like. So I want to see more of that with Robyn. Watching Robyn and Juan now is hard to watch because I do like Juan. And as boring as Robyn can be, I do like Robyn. Like I have nothing like I don't think like, how can you not like her? I mean, she might not be the most interesting person to hang out with, but she's not like a bad person or anything. You know what I mean? So watching that is really hard to watch because clearly she's like going through something. She's sleeping. She's lethargic. She doesn't have energy. You can tell she's not happy and she's not her full self, quarantine fatigue and everything else. And he just has no compassion towards her. And I don't know about you, but for me, regardless of what the circumstances is, it's really hard to watch a man be dismissive of a woman. Especially if that woman, you know, we all know the money issues and the cheating and the this and the that, whatever. But especially if that woman is the mother of your children. I'm not even talking about being in a relationship, just the mother of your children. it's really hard to watch a man be dismissive of her. And he really does dismiss and invalidate her when she's just like, I'm going through something. And she's like trying to tell him. And he's just like, well, it's not attractive. Like, get up, do something. Ugh. And he like kind of like just scoffs and walks away. It's really hard to watch that. You know, regardless of their romantic relationship, it's hard to watch a man invalidate a woman like that and sort of like make her feel like she's crazy or she's lazy or she's inadequate or she's not enough, you know, and all of those things. So that's really hard to watch. I kind of want to watch less of that. I kind of want to be like, Juan, if you don't want to be on the show, don't be on the show. Or if you're going to be on the show, show up a little bit. Phone it in if you have to. But watching him be so dismissive of her, I don't like it. I don't like it in my gut. I don't like it. Okay, so let's see who else is going on. Okay, so Candace and Chris. You guys know Candace is not my favorite, but I'm going to try and be objective. And Candace, to me, for the last two episodes, has just kind of been there. Like, she's just, you know what I mean? She's just kind of been there. She's doing her little sing-song, acty dance that she does. She has her stepchildren as, like, these props that she's using to sort of rebrand herself and her reputation. Chris just looks full of resentment and, like, being emasculated all day long. Like, did you guys catch when they were talking? I think it was in the confessional, right? Where, Tamara Augustine, thank you so much for the super chat. She goes, Robyn is just looking at the comments about her and my opinion. Yeah. I think Robyn's going through it. I think she is really going through it. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. So I don't pretend to be able to diagnose anyone. But I do think that she is expressing symptoms of depression. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but just the symptoms of what she's saying and everything that's going on. It seems like she might have some type of depression going on. I'm not saying she's depressed. I'm just saying she might have symptoms of depression, if that makes sense. But again, not diagnosing anybody's mental capacity or anybody's mental state at all. And it's hard to watch with her and Juan. It's just like, Juan, if you can't support, don't invalidate. If you're not in a place to show up for her fully and to support her through this, regardless of the romantic aspect, then at least be neutral. Don't invalidate and don't dismiss. Don't call her lazy. Don't call her unattractive. Don't, dismiss what her experience is. Don't ignore her. Don't do those things. If you can't support her, be neutral. Whatever, just go get an apartment, do that and let her figure out her stuff. But like, don't be there and be a part of it, because I bet she's really, a part of her is probably depressed because of the way their relationship is. So anyway, so back to Candace. So Candace is kind of, to me, she's kind of just there. I know she can kind of be like yappy and she has a mouth and she can be very, very vile and all that stuff and very emotionally immature. But the last two episodes, she's kind of just been there. So I want to see what's going to happen with the rest of this season. I want to see what happens between her and Mia. When you know how Mia throws a salad in her face and then she throws a salad back. Like, I want to know, like, how did that go down? What built up to that? Was it actually an issue between Mia and Candace? Or was it, again, drama triangle and triangulation? Was it really an issue between Candace and somebody else and Mia got involved, or Mia and somebody else and Candace got involved? You know how that always happens. One person puts a bug in somebody's ear, they wind them up, and then they go out and do that person's dirty work. So I want to see like how that happens, like what's the demise of that. And I do think the majority of the women, except for Karen, low key is very jealous of Mia. I think that they have a really hard time getting to know and accepting other beautiful, successful, married women. So I do think that there is some jealousy going on there with Ashley, with Candace, 1,000% with Wendy, Giselle, probably even Robyn. So yes, I want to see what that happens. And speaking of jealousy and Mia, what did you guys think about the Mia and Wendy fight at Karen's love lunch? Like, they were going at it and she was like, don't put your hand in my face. And she's like, my hands in your face. What are you going to do about it? I was just like, oh, we're getting started early with that, aren't we? We're getting feisty really early with that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the thing. I think Wendy piped down. Like, who made you the bulldog for Karen? Because if you noticed, now ever since Karen and Wendy had that lunch, Wendy has been riding for Karen. She even came to Karen's defense. At the end of that dinner, she came to Karen's defense. And I remember in the confessional, Robyn was just like, oh, this is a brand new Wendy. She was like, you couldn't stand Karen last season, but now this season you're sticking up for her. Like, oh, like what else has changed other than like your boobs and your butt and all that stuff, right? So it's clear that Wendy is now Team Karen. But remember, right, prior to the last season, it all came out that, remember when Wendy was trying to act like she knew Karen? And Karen basically was just like, I don't know you, boo-boo. Remember that? And then that was kind of when they started bumping heads. And it turned out that like Wendy behind the scenes was trying to get on all of these like socialite and philanthropic committees. And she was like, oh, whatever Karen is in, that's what I want to do. And they had been on like 2 committee Zoom parties. And then she tried to go around telling everybody that she knew Karen because Wendy was trying to be like a social climber. Like she wanted to be in those circles and she wanted to be like one of those women. And she knew that like Karen was, and she wanted to be on the show. She was doing a lot of work to get on the show. And Karen was just like, I don't know you like that. So I think that Wendy has always sought out Karen's validation. And now that Karen is being really smart and strategic, because now that Monique is gone, I think Karen wants to get as many people on her side as possible. I think in Karen's mind, she's like, I don't like you, Wendy, but I like you more than I like Gizelle. So come on over on my side, right? And I think that Wendy was always looking for that validation. She wanted to be like one of the women that Karen was, right? And so that now that Karen is bringing her in the fold, she's just like, be damned, everyone. Like, I'm going to ride for Karen because I want her validation and I want to be accepted in those circles. And so we see that. So I didn't think that it was really Wendy's place at the lunch to try and check Mia, because Mia said that, oh, I think Gizelle has a good heart. And she had asked Giselle and Robyn for their phone numbers after the party. And Mia was just like, well, in the moment, she was like, like, I'm just there getting to know people. And I didn't get a bad vibe from Gizelle. But once Karen told everyone that, Gizelle wished death on her husband, which she did twice. Did you also catch when Gizelle did it again in this very episode? When she was like, what was it? Oh, she was saying how like, she was talking to Robyn after the whole dinner and lunch thing. And she was like, yeah, Ray will be dead before, my looks fade or something. She said something like that. So she said it again, which to me, I thought was really dirty and really gross, especially given, Ray's older and all that stuff. But so I didn't think so back to that. So I don't think that it was Wendy's place to check Mia on behalf of Karen. And Karen was even like, well, if I don't care about it, why do y'all care about it? Either Karen said it or Mia said it, because Karen really didn't care. Because that's that grown woman for you when it comes to Karen. Karen is just like, I'm playing chess, not checkers. It is totally fine. I'm not really that worried about it. She's like, I'm really not that worried about it. She was like, I like Gizelle too, at first. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that Mia was trying to... I think again, and also why do people have to pick sides? Like, why do people have to have teams? And I don't think that Mia was trying to be disrespectful to Karen. I think Mia was just like, I'm the new girl. Maybe she didn't know how things worked in that way. And I think that she was just trying to just get to know people. I don't think she really thought it was that deep. And so for Wendy to come out there, I would have done the same thing Mia did. I would have been like, pipe down. It's like none of your business. Like, why do you care? Like, I was just trying to have a good time and like make things comfortable, right? So, yeah, it was just insane. Hey, House of the Princess. She goes, she does. She has a conscience. Yes, exactly. Hey, House of the Princess. Yes. So, yeah, I would have done the same thing Mia did. It's just like, don't come for me. I didn't send for you. And also, like, this wasn't your battle. If Karen had an issue with what Mia did, it would be Karen's job to talk to Mia about it. not Wendy's job to assume and preemptively talk to me about it in front of everybody else, try and put her on blast. And you know why I think that now? I think Wendy is one of those people where she's threatened that, well, now that I'm friends with Karen, I don't want you to be friends with Karen either, because Karen can only have one friend and I want to be that friend, right? Like, it might be something along those lines where it's just like, I want to be the closest to Karen. I want to be Karen's pet. I want to be Karen's favorite. And you're coming in as Karen's friend? No, that's my spot. So who knows? So let's see what else is going on. And then I'm going to start seeing what you guys are saying in the chat so we can all chat together. But what else? What else happened, you guys? I think that was the big one. So that's what you guys are saying on the chat box. So Tamara Augustine says Mia was everything. I agree. I really like Mia. Again, I kind of want her to chill a little bit. Be more of yourself and don't present a person, be a person. But I do like Mia. I do. Hey, House of the Princess. She goes, hello, kitten. Yes. Let's see here. Darren Hood says Wendy was doing too much. I agree. Wendy was doing the absolute most. And it's like, calm down. And I don't want her to talk about her plastic surgery ever again. We get it, Wendy. We see it. You got your boob done. You got your butt done. You got liposuction. You got something done on your face, allegedly. Just be honest. Let us know, because your face looks different. And it's not just Botox and fillers. Your face structurally looks different. Hey, Amelia, friend. She goes, Wendy was probably just jealous that Mia didn't ask for her number. That is true. That is very, very true. I agree. Sasha T says Karen and Wendy made a pact off camera, I think. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I bet you 100% they did. They made allegiances and alliances off camera. I agree. Hey, Dorit Frank. She goes, hey, your Royal Highness Princess. See you soon. Yes. I love you guys. Hey, Reparations. She goes, hey, Candy Mods and Candy Canes. I'm so late. Let me pull up. Yes, you can always pull up. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Young Rich. She goes, Wendy and Mia have sexual tension. That's all that is. You really think so? You think that's what it is? I don't know. I think it's more like a jealousy girl thing. Hey, Klima Wade. Hey, Beauty. She goes, Wendy's upset because Mia took the shine away from her at her own party. Yes, I think it's more along those lines where she was kind of like, this is my debut, you know, all that stuff. Perfectly Flawed is laughing at Young Rich's comment. Yes. Hey, Natalia. So Natalia says Mia is not afraid of Wendy. Absolutely not. Wendy is talking about a friend while she is ganging up on Monique. Exactly. Like, how does Wendy think that she's owed all of this loyalty and all of this transparency from people when she will be the first one to throw people under the bus? And she really did. Hey, yay! Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hey, Sarah Smile. She goes, Wendy's party was lame and dry. Also, her hospitality stunk. Her party was lame and dry. It really was. And it was just like, I mean, I get it if you want to have a party about your boobs and yourself, but like, at least make it fun. And like, she had her guest waiting for hours and this whole time they didn't play any games. Were the drinks flowing or not flowing? It was a little stale. I agree with you, Sarah. It definitely was a little stale. 100%. Hey, Natalia. She goes, Mia is beautiful. She is. Mia is beautiful. Money well spent. She is gorgeous. Hey, Joe Wilkinson. She goes, exactly at Klima. Exactly. Yes, we are agreeing. Hey, 313 Yolanda, Wendy have no storyline. She doesn't. It's like, okay, check. We all know you did build a body, build a face. Okay, got it, check. And then what's next? These scented candles, home essentials, Mila Eve essential knockoffs. Like, that's not it. But I think she'll have more of a storyline when the Eddie cheating rumors come out. I think that's when the show is going to really do that boom, right? Oh, our beautiful Brenda is laughing with us. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Electric Soul ASMR. The bias is in full effect. Yeah, it really is. There is bias and hypocrisy all the way around. Hey, beautiful Lynette. She goes, it was a hand in the face for me. And what are you going to do about it? And what are you going to do about it? Hey, Young Rich. She goes, I can't wait to see Ask Me next week. She seems interesting. We will be back here next week going through it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Linda McIntosh. She goes, Wendy needs to learn to stand with her own 10 toes down instead of looking for a side to pick. Yeah, I agree. And Wendy needs to just mind her business. Like, just mind your business, Wendy. Stay in your lane. Keep your head down. Like, stop. Hey, Sasha T. She goes, Wendy thought she could sun the new girl. And then when she realized Mia wasn't intimidated, she had a problem. Very, very true. She thought that, she could intimidate. She could punk Mia. She could put her in her place. She could haze her. And Mia was just like, come again? I'm confused. What? And Mia is playing her for filth in the comments. She goes, oh, I didn't know she was that insecure that she couldn't, admit to her butt job until I did. Okay. Like, she read her like a book. Hey, Kiki Snob. She goes, Wendy need to sit down and eat her avocado so her cheeks will grow a little. Exactly. So true. Hey, Joe Wilkinson. She goes, Wendy's very late to the candle party. Very late to the candle party. And isn't that what like influencers do? It's like you can like, I think like anyone can like have like a candle line. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, Kamiko before she goes, build a body, build a face, check. Exactly. Oh, Natalia, she says, I like your smile, Candy. Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Yes. Hey, Linda McIntosh, she goes, I think Mia is Eddie's taste and Wendy's not happy about that. Well, according to word on the street, I mean, allegedly now they're saying the whole like him cheating with the woman at work and him having a side baby was just some rumor this big bad blogger started and said, but I think that's a convenient out because we all know who the big bad blogger is. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We all know who that person was, right? I think that the demise of that blogger is a convenient ruse and a convenient excuse to say that the cheating and all that wasn't true. Now, I'm not co-signing what this blogger said or didn't say. We all know that blogger has a lot of problematic issues with clickbait and et cetera. So I'm not convinced that those rumors weren't true on the sole basis of the demise of that blogger. I don't think that blogger pulled those rumors out of the thin blue sky. Like, I don't think that they just made it all the way up. Maybe they embellish, maybe they tack on a few things, maybe they exaggerate, but I don't think that they woke up one day and it was just like, let me just make up this complete, absolute lie out of the thin blue sky. Oh, and I'm going to make it about Dr. Wendy Osefo because she's popping. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no tea, no shade, but kind of. Like, I think if they were going to make up such a salacious rumor, I think they would have attached it to somebody who might be a bit more popping in the public eye. I honestly think that the rumor made Dr. Wendy Osefo a little bit more popping. It actually made us talk about her. It actually made us think something about her other than like she's annoying with 4 degrees. So are there embellishments, exaggerations? Sure, maybe. But I don't think that this person woke up one day and was just like, let me magically make up this lie about this man cheating with this white woman at his law firm and they have a whole baby. And let me just make it about, who's the best person? Oh, Dr. Wendy Osefo. I don't believe that either. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think it's a really good, convenient excuse to say, oh, no, it was just a lie. It was just a rumor because this bad blogger made it up. And trust me, by no means am I defending the bad blogger. We all know how I feel about that. Not defending the bad blogger at all, but just to play devil's advocate and to be objective and to look at it from both sides. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. That's what I think. But let me know what you guys think. Exactly, Joanna. That blogger still kept the tea on point. I believe it. Yeah. I think it may have been a little whatever, maybe a little fluff here, because, you always have to make things a little bit more juicier. But I don't think it was a bold-faced lie. I don't think they just pulled it out of their ass and was just like, hey, let's make this about Dr. Wendy. I don't think so. So, yeah. Hey, Lulu M. She goes, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Sarah Smile. She goes, Wendy studied last season way too hard and is trying to come in with a Nene attitude this season. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Wendy, she's another one where I don't think we're really seeing who she really is until she pops off with Gizelle about the rumors. I think that is the most authentic that we see her. Oh, hey, beautiful Marcella. Hey. Marcella says, y'all hit the like button for our candy cane. Yes, hit that like button. Let's do this. Thank you so much, Marcella. Yes. So let's see what you guys are saying. So Natalia says, I'm sorry I like Gizelle. She gives me the season and drama and stirs up the pot. Those type of people are needed in reality TV. And someone who's not afraid of a villain like Karen, and I love Candace. We know, Natalia, we know. You always come on here and defend them, and that is fine. That is totally fine. It's all good, my love. Hey, Young Rich. She goes, Eddie seems to like a good, sexy, sweet, cuddly, and intelligent man, so he's innocent in my eyes. Yo, Young Rich, you're going to get me in trouble. Allegedly. And for the record, Young Rich said that, not me. I didn't hear those rumors. Don't put that on me. I didn't say that. Hey, Ashley Williams, I really hope Gizelle gives Wendy a run for her money because Wendy acted a fool with them lying on Monique's family. Now the shoe is on the other foot. I agree 100%. 100%. Wendy, you have not earned any sympathy or compassion or loyalty or allegiancy or alliances. You just haven't. Sorry. You just haven't. You had no problem trying to ruin another person's family. So turnabout's fair play. Hey, Linda McIntosh goes, I agree with you, Candy. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I definitely think it's somewhere in the middle. Maybe there's no baby, but maybe there was an affair. Maybe she's not white. Maybe she's Hispanic. Like I don't know, but I think like the truth is just like somewhere in the middle. 100%. Let's see what you guys are saying. So Sasha T says, do you think Rohop is tarnishing Wendy's prospects for being a political commentator? No, I don't think so. I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to call him the president because he wasn't a president, but the person in the White Office before our current president, Biden, was on reality TV and acted like a damn fool, and he got to the highest level of office. So unfortunately, in America, I don't think it is tarnishing that at all. Let's see. Hey, Del Turner. She goes, hey, beautiful. Love your smile. Aw, thank you, Dale. I love you too. Yes. Natalia said there will never be another Nene Leakes Bethany Frankel. I agree. There won't be. But there might be something even better and different. We don't have to imitate people. We just have to find new people who are uniquely interesting on their own. Hi, tonight, Hazel. She goes, I agree. Giselle and Robyn are great for TV drama. Robyn is just a snooze fest. Yeah, but I really hope Robyn continues to step out. I really, really do hope that Robyn continues to step out of Giselle's shadow. And I do think that there's something off with Gizelle. There's some tick going on. She's off. She's just like off kilter. Hey, Helena D. She goes, said blogger also went in and did an entire hour-long worth of content about Wendy's house. She had something against Wendy. True. She did do that, but she did that about a lot of people. And again, said blogger has gone in on certain people a lot, and sometimes unnecessarily, and sometimes excessively. But I just don't think that she woke up and literally just created this entire thing out of the thin blue sky, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that she spoke the gospel truth and everything that this blogger said was the absolute truth. Absolutely not. We all know that is not true. But just on a gut level, I don't think that she just made it up out of her head. I think she might have like exaggerated things, if that makes sense. Okay, Electric Soul ASMR says, many not all people are dragging the blogger, but they are creating the same reckless content. It's the wild, wild west and the blogosphere. Well, I think the people that are dragging the blogger, but they are creating the same reckless content, it's not so much about the blogger isn't necessarily being dragged about the content. It was more about the actions that the bloggers did behind the scenes and about the accountability factor behind the scenes between their panel and then between other bloggers within the blogosphere. So I don't think it's so much around the content. Of course, there was some type of clickbait, obsessiveness, and all that stuff. But I think the issue was more about the interpersonal relationships, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Hey, Foxy Counselor. He acted damn well in his office as well. Exactly. He acted like a fool. Thank you, Sasha T. She says, like the video. That's right, you guys. We have been in here for almost an hour. We are kikiing and having a great time. Like this video, subscribe, and share. Support any way that you want to. But just being here, I thank you, and I love you guys. Natalia said, allegedly Drew is demoted to a friend. Yeah, we talked about that. I think she has been demoted to a friend of, and she's also filming for Portia's spin-off pilot. Sasha T says, why do you say Giselle's kids are like her friends? I think the open communication is good. Okay, so the reason why I think that Giselle kids is like her friend, yes, open communication is good, but what I've seen of Giselle from season 1 and her girls, she treats her girls like her friends and not like her daughter. Like, she goes to them for dating advice. She goes to them. She was really tone deaf to their hurt and their pain when she went and did this fake storyline with Jamal, being like, well, my girls are really protective of me. They don't want to see mommy hurt. And to me, that's the wrong mindset to have as a mother. It's your job as a mother to protect your children. It's your job as a mother not to see your children be hurt. You think about how they feel. You should think about, how is this affecting my children that their father is now being called Pastor Holy Whore, that he has multiple children, they're half siblings, not just his children, because his children are their siblings. So they now have half siblings sprawled across all America. Their father having breakdowns on YouTube lives, the mother is now being called a hot box and everything else. I mean, and her kids are old enough to be able to Google these things and to read these things and to see these things. And her kids are also in school. And other kids can be cruel. You don't think they haven't been bullied about this? Or people haven't said stuff about this? Could you imagine being in high school right now and having Giselle and Jamal as your parents? People saying she's going to Sing Sing and has a hot box, and, you know, she was with Jamal and that was fake news, and he's like, I'm single, and he has all these kids, and then his other like side piece is coming out and all this other stuff. Like, you have to think about the effect that that has on these children. But the only thing I see Giselle ever talk to them about is Giselle. What Giselle wants, who Giselle is seeing, who Giselle is dating, all of this stuff. Sure, she'll do surface things like, but she even said it last night to her firstborn daughter. Oh, well, you need to pass the driving test so you can drive your kids, so you can drive your siblings around. Not so you can go out and be fun and be a teenager and have that experience, but you need to pass that test so you can have more responsibility, so you can drive my children around. And it was also even indicative with the kid's response, right? When she was just like, oh, you guys will be off in college soon. Let's talk to you guys about dating. And what did the kid say? We probably could give you better advice, Mom. That right there shows you the dynamic. The kids see themselves as the caretaker of the mother. And the mother sees herself as the central person in those relationships. Because if I had children and I had an ex-husband who was like Jamal, there is no way in this world I would put my children through more humiliation, more hurt, and more embarrassment so I could create a fake storyline on a show. When her storyline could have been, and it actually would have been way more interesting, Gizelle finding love. I know it's the Real Housewives of Potomac, but she could have been like, I am determined to be a housewife again. And we saw her dating and having fun and being set up with a matchmaker, or maybe doing some like online dating or being set up on blind dates. That would have been really, really cool. And way more interesting and far less hurtful to her children. I'm going to be an example to you girls. I married a man that I loved. When I married him, he wasn't faithful. I know that is your father. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just telling you my experience. I still want you to love him, and I still want you guys to have a good relationship with him. I've made those mistakes. These are the things that I've learned. Passing your wisdom onto your children so that your children actually respect you, because Giselle's children do not respect her. They look at her as someone that they need to help and give advice to and protect. And that is not the way it's supposed to be. At all. Those girls were really hurt when Sherman broke up with her. Those girls were attached to Sherman. They liked Sherman more than they liked their own father, and for very good reason. So that's why I say Gizelle treats her daughters like her friends and not like her children. I do think that open communication is really great between parents, but you also have to have the parent-child dynamic. Yes, you can talk about things. Yes, you can give advice and wisdom and all of that stuff, as you should. Yes, you should be honest, but your child should not feel responsible for protecting you. It is your job as the parent to protect your child. And that's why you grow up and you have people who become, talking from personal experience here, codependent, people pleasers, thinking you have to save other people, thinking you have to put yourself on the back burner, thinking no one can ever be there for you, and all of those things. Not having healthy boundaries, not having healthy standards, dating the wrong people, falling into unhealthy patterns, repeating generational curses, all of that stuff, because you didn't actually get to do things in its right order. You didn't get to be the child who got to be, no responsibilities and carefree and got to be the kid and didn't have to protect or all of those things somebody else. You didn't have to take care of the needs of the person who was supposed to be taking care of your needs. And I see that clear as day when it comes to Gizelle and her daughters. And when I say this, I'm not saying she doesn't love her daughters. She 1000% loves them. But just because you love your children, that doesn't mean that you're not doing unhealthy patterns with them. And I don't think Gizelle is even conscious of this. I don't think she's doing it on purpose. I just think that's just where she is and her emotional capacity. But there was just too many red flags for me when it came to Gizelle and her kids. Okay, but that was a really, really good question. Okay, Sasha T, you also wanted to follow up and you said, do you think that's indicative of her trauma or how she was raised? I think her parents seem like upstanding people. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it could be indicative of trauma or how she was raised. Her parents do seem like really great people, but that's the thing, right? You could grow up and have really great parents and still have unhealthy tendencies. Or you could grow up with very unhealthy parents and you could have, either through resources on your own or just how your disposition was and have very healthy tendencies. So these things are patterns. And also you can learn these things from different people, right? Like shout out to Alicia Bradley. She's a YouTuber. She does a lot on self-concept, self-love, the law of assumption and all that stuff. And she actually told her story where she had a very self-limiting belief around like her worthiness and her attraction and like, things like that. And she did the work on herself and she realized she actually learned it from someone in her family that wasn't her parents. when she would go, I think it was like an aunt or grandparent or somebody like that, summer, she would spend like a week or whatever it was. And this person, again, not on a conscious level, just where that person was, would make certain comments to her and would say certain things to her that made her feel like, well, men will only want me for this, or I'm not good enough because of this, and things like that. So, and as a child, that really stuck with her. And that became one of her self-limiting beliefs that as an adult was sabotaging her. So as children, it's not necessarily just the parents. You have to think about who are the influential people in that child's life. It could be a teacher. It could be a coach. It could be an aunt. It could be a sibling. It could be a cousin. It could be a preacher, a pastor. It could be a neighbor person. You know what I mean? It could be any of those things. And it also doesn't have to be consistent trauma. It could just be a traumatic experience. And by trauma and traumatic, sometimes we think that has to be like some really big, bad physical or sexual or type of abuse. And that's not true. Trauma comes in big T's and little T's. Trauma could even just be feeling like, when you grew up, nobody cared about your opinion. Were people always telling you to shut up? Were people always telling you to be quiet? Were people always ignoring you? Were people always dismissing you or belittling you or forgetting about you or neglecting you? That is also trauma. So it doesn't have to be these like big, scary things that we think of when somebody says, I had a traumatic experience. Our mind goes to like the biggest thing ever, right? It could be these little moments of feeling invalidated, of feeling not loved, of feeling forgotten, of feeling less than, that leads us to then have these, emotional limitations and self-limiting beliefs as adults. So it doesn't necessarily have to just come from your parents, and it doesn't have to be these big, bad, scary traumas like a car wreck or, God forbid, some type of like physical or sexual abuse. Like there are many different forms of trauma, big and small, that can lead to that. So yeah, I definitely think that it's somehow rooted in her childhood. And I think when it also comes to Gizelle, I think that she suffers with two sides of the same coin, where I do think that she struggles with her worthiness and her self-esteem and being validated, right? Because we see that in her dating pattern and like her men pattern and going back to Jamal and all this stuff. But then on the other side of that token, I do think that she thinks that she's better than people because she has lighter skin, lighter hair, and green eyes. So I think, but then again, on the surface, that sounds like she has high self-esteem and she's confident, but it's actually rooted in a deep insecurity that who I am at my core is not enough and not good enough. So I'm going to make these superficial external things the root of my worthiness and value. Like if Gizelle did not have, sort of that pretty girl image or look or whatever, I think that's just almost like a facade that she uses to cover up the fact that she feels deeply, deeply insecure, if that makes sense. So let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Linda. She goes, you can have several children under the same roof. They all come out to be different in personality as well as characteristics. Exactly. Even twins. You can have twins, and you can have twins who have vastly different personalities and vastly different characteristics based on the experiences that they had. Yes, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Sasha T. She goes, I'm always side-eyeing men like Eddie. He just follows Wendy blindly. She was telling him what to say during that game. I agree. I want to know more about what really happened with his family. Same. Like word on the street is just that, oh wait, I want to see what abundantly Cindy is saying. Okay. So word on the street is that his whole family basically, what do you call it? Disowned him for marrying her. I want to know the real tea on that too. Like what really, really went down. And you never know what people's families' dynamics are like, but it's just a really massive red flag if you had to disown, or your whole family disowned you for marrying someone. Like, what is going on there? Hey, Abundantly Cindy, she goes, sometimes it's epigenetic trauma passed down generationally. Yes, that is also very, very true. Tamara Augustine says, yes. Hey, Abundantly Cindy, she goes, Giselle doesn't believe she's worthy of a loving relationship with a man. She knows she's gorgeous, but she's highly insecure by her actions. Exactly. 100%. Hey, House of the Princess. Hey, April, such a pretty mess. She goes, hey, beautiful people. Sasha T says, Candy, you reading Giselle? LOL. Yes, 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 yes. Tamara Augustine goes, she was based on her looks. Exactly. Hey, Perfectly Flawed. She goes, yes, my twin and I are very different. Yeah, it's very true. And then also things affect people differently. So you and me could have the same exact experience, and I could be totally fine by it. And then you could be totally, like, I don't want to say messed up in like a negative or bad way, but you could be totally affected by it, or vice versa. We could have the same exact experience, and I'm totally triggered, totally internalizing, totally affected by it. And you could be like, what's the big deal? Whatever, right? That's why sometimes you don't know what people's triggers are, or what people are going through, or what people have gone through. So sometimes you could say one thing to one person and it'd be cool, kiki, haha. You could say the same thing to another person and it could totally pop off. So that's where also emotional intelligence comes in, where you're able to read the room, you're able to get an energy or a vibe, you're able to have discernment, and you're able to adapt yourself to that person. I'm not saying like cater or kiss ass or not be yourself. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying emotional intelligence is being able to say, hey, I'm picking up a certain vibe from a person. They're putting off this energy. Maybe I don't say this type of thing to this person. Maybe I, do this or that. It's just about having that discernment and then being able to adapt in the moment with other people. Yeah, Dorit, she says 144 in the house. Yes, please step out, hit that like button and show the love. That's right. That's right. Hit those like buttons. Hit those likes. I love you guys. Hey, AL. He goes, hi. Hi. Lynette Kitten said, let's get those likes up, please. Yes. Shrinking Sharon says, yes. Young Rachel said, what I thought she said she wasn't. Wasn't what? Hey, Andrea Nielsen. She goes, I really enjoy your commentary. Thank you. I really enjoy talking to you guys. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Yanni Rose. She goes, like how people need to stop telling Crystal how she should feel about Sutton walking in on her. Okay, this is the thing. Well, we've talked about this, but I'll give my opinion on the Crystal Sutton thing. Okay, so I don't think Sutton had any ill intention at all. I actually think the very opposite. I think Sutton was trying to give Crystal an olive branch. Because if you go back and watch the episode, when Sutton and the girls are in the living room, and they're like, oh, Crystal forgot her coat or her jacket, whatever it is. And Sutton's like, well, as a friend, because she's like, I want to become friends with her. I want to squash all this. I'll take her coat down to her room. Sutton prances down to the room. She knocks on the door. I don't think Crystal said come in, but she's just sort of just like, it's girls' weekend, whatever. She has the coat. She opens the door and she sees Crystal is like crouched or uncomfortable, and she goes, oh, okay. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on. Okay. She drops the coat off, she shuts the door, and she scurries away. Right? Crystal was okay. I don't want to invalidate anyone's experience, but I'll say it from two perspectives. First perspective is giving Crystal 1,000% the benefit of the doubt that when Sutton came in and she was naked and she dropped to the floor, she felt very exposed and very vulnerable, maybe embarrassed, maybe triggered by something that happened in her past. It just got her really upset that she was naked and somebody walked in on her. Mind you, if that is how you feel, maybe lock your door next time, because the door was technically unlocked. Although Sutton, wait until somebody gives you permission to come into their room. Okay. So on both sides of that, Crystal, lock your door if you're butt naked in your room. Sutton, wait for someone to give you permission to enter their room. Even though you knocked, wait for the verbal permission. So if Crystal, 100% benefit of the doubt, she really was triggered, she really thought she felt so up in arms about everything. Okay, she had that conversation to Sutton. She told her how she felt. Sutton said to her, I am so sorry. That is not what I meant. I wasn't making fun of you. None of that stuff. They had a good heart-to-heart. They put it to bed. Crystal said she wasn't talking about it anymore. Sutton said she wasn't talking about it anymore. Then Crystal, how can you then go and continue to talk about it? Yes, the girls were asking, but what you should have said was, you know what? It was just a really weird experience. We talked about it. It's all good. Let's move on. You're like, who wants to go get some rosé? Who wants to get some champers? Oh, that thing, don't worry about it. It's squashed, right? You can't, even if you felt triggered and violated, you can't have a conversation with someone. Have that person genuinely apologize to you. You say you accept the apology and it's squashed, and then continue to talk about it. And then every time you talk about it, the story changes and gets worse. First, you said that Sutton didn't knock on the door. She did. Then you said she came in the room and she was laughing at you and she was just like, hey, what are you doing over there? She didn't. Then you said she stayed in the room to a long period of time that made you feel really uncomfortable. She didn't. So your story keeps changing and getting worse, and you keep talking about it. And then you use the word violated, which is a very, very big word to use when you're talking about your coworker and you're talking about being naked at the same time. And using the word violated is a very, very big word. So I don't want to say that maybe what I actually think is that Crystal got a little embarrassed about the situation, may have overreacted a little bit, but her ego won't let her walk it back because Crystal has to be right, especially when it comes to Sutton. And I think that if she really was triggered and she felt this stuff, I'm not diminishing what her experience is, but what she could have said when Sutton and Gizelle and everyone was just kind of being like, okay, we get it was a weird moment, but you can't say she violated you. She didn't even touch you. You see what I'm saying? She was in there for 3 seconds, dropped the coat off and left. Saying that someone violated you to me means somebody physically imposed on my space and on my body and on my person. And you are a coworker and you were naked. That's a very, very, very heavy word to use. So if I was Crystal, what I would have said was, although I personally felt violated, I know that it was not Sutton's intention to violate me. We've discussed it. She's apologized. I accept her apology. It's over and done. That way you can honor what your experience is. You're saying, this is how I felt. Because we have to remember, feelings are not facts. Just because someone feels some way, that doesn't mean that their feeling is the truth or the reality of the situation. Did Crystal feel violated? Sure, maybe she did. Did Sutton violate her? No. Both things can be true. But to double down on a story that is documented, that we can all see with our two eyes, and then on a story that you changed and shifted 25, 60 different times, that was not in alignment. Even Dorit was just like, yeah, that's not the story you initially told me. When it all came out, when they are all talking, even Dorit was just like, yeah, that's not what you told me. Because remember, Dorit was coming for Sutton, and Sutton was just like, put your paws down, put your paws away. Why are you involved? Dorit was just like, yeah, actually, this isn't the story that Crystal told me. So that's what I think the difference is when it comes to Crystal and Sutton. I don't think that people are telling Crystal, well, I don't know what people are saying, but what I'm saying is that I'm not telling Crystal how she should feel. Because even though your feelings are not facts, your feelings are still valid as your feelings. So I'm not invalidating how Crystal feels. But we have to be clear about what the facts and what the reality of the situation is. Because your feelings are not facts and your feelings are not reality. Your feelings are a reaction to an experience that you had. So I'm not invalidating how Crystal felt. I'm being objective about the facts of the situation. So that's kind of where it's coming from. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Okay, so Joanna's on Crystal's side. She goes, I agree with Crystal 100%. They were not even getting along. It's just inappropriate and creepy. I think it's okay for Crystal to have felt it was inappropriate and creepy, but I think to double down on saying that she was violated in this context, it's a bit of a stretch. Oh, it's okay, Yanni. We can distract. It's fine. Natural Twins Mama said they played that audio, Candy. They did. And Joanna says she used violated appropriately. I think that you can use a word appropriately as the way in the which it is defined, but I don't think that she used it appropriately applying it to this particular context. So you could use a word as it's defined appropriately, but you could misappropriate it during the actual experience, is what I think. Let's see. Hey, Jasmine. She goes, but you don't know what went on behind the scenes. You can't tell someone how they feel. If she felt violated, and that's her feelings. Yeah, that's what I said. She can feel violated, and those are her feelings. But that doesn't mean that is what Sutton's intent was, or even that's what Sutton has done. Think about it, right? Think about times where you have said or done something to someone and they felt really hurt or pissed off or whatever. And you were like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't even mean it that way. I didn't say it that way. Did they feel that way? Yeah. Was that your intention? No. And again, think about it. When you see people who have like accidents or anything like that, and there could have been like, or crime, you could have 20 different eyewitnesses watch the same exact thing, and you will have 20 different versions of that story. So I'm not invalidating how Crystal felt, but Crystal's feelings are not facts. That's what I'm saying. Hi, Ivory Girl 06. She goes, I remember Sutton saying she thought she did hear her say come in. Yeah, she could have thought she did. Because also, if you remember, Crystal was on the phone. So maybe Crystal was talking on the phone and Sutton thought that was her responding to her, right? Since Crystal was the one on the phone talking, exactly, that would explain it. Exactly. If Sutton thought she said come in once she heard her voice. Yes, Ivory Girl, exactly. Exactly. It's so true. So true. Let's see what we're saying. I think Tamara says I think Crystal was upset when she said it. Nacho Twins Mama says, but Candy, everyone's perception is their reality. Yes, everyone's perception is their reality, but it's like the truth. It's like your truth, her truth, and the truth. There is an accepted version of reality that will be universal. Which is why, like, even think about it. Even if we have like a court case, or if we have any type of disagreement or anything like that, there will be a universal reality that will be taken as the reality. That's the standard, even though it may not have been your reality. And even just because our perception is our reality, doesn't mean that is the reality for somebody else. Which is exactly why I'm saying Crystal could have felt violated. That was her reality. But Sutton's reality was that she did not violate her. That was Sutton's reality. And then we have the reality of the video footage that we saw. So let's see it. I don't agree. Natural Twin Mama says intention has zero to do with it. It's always about one's perception. That's not, I don't agree with that. I think intentionality has everything to do with it. That is the actual important crux of it. Not to diminish what somebody experiences, but intentionality is the utmost importance. That's why in our criminal justice system, you have murder, manslaughter, because it all goes down to what was your intention. Did you intentionally do something, or did you unintentionally do something? Actions in and of themselves are innocuous. It is always the intention behind it. You could accidentally kill someone. You're going to get charged a different charge if you intentionally kill someone. Intentionality is extremely important. Extremely, extremely important. What is the intention behind it? Intentionality is one of the most important things. Let's see what you guys are saying. Ivy Girl 06 says the word violated, though used correctly according to its definition, is usually used in a much worse situation. Exactly. They the way they normally hear violate it seems much worse. Very, very true. Very, very true. Let's see what Dorit is saying. Hey, Dorit. She goes, it's a girls' trip. It's not unusual to pop into rooms. If I don't want to be infringed upon, I will lock the door. Exactly. I think Crystal could have locked the door. She should have. And another thing, again, the foil to that, Kathy Hilton walked into Sutton's room while Sutton was naked, and Sutton didn't say she was violated and all of this stuff and everything like that. So Kathy did it. Not saying it's wrong or right, but nobody said that she violated her. Let's see. So Joanna's saying, but Candace said how she felt, not what Sutton intended. No, I think, no. She said that's how she felt, but then she ran around telling everybody that Sutton was weird and was creepy and that she was standing in her room making fun of her and doing all that stuff. That is speaking to Sutton's intentionality. And that's why Dorit on the show was just like, wait, that is not the version of the story you told me. Crystal was going around making it seem like Sutton intentionally opened the door on her while she was naked and like laughed and mocked her and was just like staring at her and doing weird stuff in the room. She called her weird and creepy and said she like came in the room and was like mocking her and saying all that stuff. She didn't just say, oh, I felt violated. And and Sutton didn't mean anything about it. And then they also had the actual conversation. So it wasn't like she didn't know Sutton's intention. Sutton said to her, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it wasn't like, she said that. She's like, I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I am so sorry. They literally had the conversation about it, right? So let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Yanni, no, everyone isn't supposed to have the same reaction to the same experience. That goes back to exactly what I was saying before. Two people can have the same exact experience. One person is affected and one person isn't affected. That does not change the reality of what happened. It just speaks to that person's experience of the reality, right? Let's see. So Tamara Austin is saying, I love Sutton, but she cut Crystal off during a sensitive subject and Crystal took it personally. Yeah. And I think Crystal has had it out for Sutton. She has had it out for Sutton 100%. Hey, Nataski shows Crystal's target is clearly Sutton. Exactly. Yes. Hey, Christine Lambert, maybe Crystal had been violated previously and Sutton coming and triggered her. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, I agree, Christine. I'm not saying that Crystal didn't feel triggered or that Crystal's experience wasn't valid. I'm just saying that it needs to be contextualized. And for her, and I think that it's okay for Crystal to say, I was really triggered in that moment and I felt violated. But I know that it wasn't Sutton's intention to violate me. And that is important. That is a very important distinction. You can honor and validate your feelings and your responses and your triggers without blaming and shaming the person who was the catalyst for the trigger when that person was not intentionally trying to hurt you. Like, if we go back and watch that episode, and if we're being honest, Sutton was not trying to hurt Crystal at all. And so that's what I'm saying. Validate your own experience. Say what your feelings are. Own them. But you also have to be honest and truthful about whether or not this person had any intention to actually hurt you. And that is the distinction Garcelle made. Remember at the dinner? That was the distinction Garcelle made. She was like, we all know Sutton was not intentionally trying to walk into your room and hurt you or violate you, which is very true and very clear. So Yeah. Natasha says, is it weird that I don't find Sutton odd at all? No, I love Sutton, to be perfectly honest. I love Sutton. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's see. Lynette Scott says, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That is right. That is right. Hey, Natalia. She goes, but why would Crystal call Sutton jealous of her? Jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants. Okay, so again, we've talked about this before. I actually think that Crystal is projecting. I think that Crystal is jealous of Sutton. That's what I think. Because Crystal has talked about growing up feeling othered and not good enough because she was Asian and an immigrant, and that she really, really wanted to assimilate to white Western culture. And I think that is what Sutton symbolizes to her, and I think that's why Sutton triggers her so much. Yeah. Natasky says she seems like a normal Southern rich mom. Exactly. I like Sutton. I do. I don't think she's weird. I think I like her. I like her. Yeah. And Natasha says, I feel like Sutton is actually authentic, which is more than the others. I agree. I agree 100%. Hey, Natalia. She goes, allegedly Denise wants to come back. I hope she does. Yeah, that is the word on the street. So Denise wants to come back, and she is saying that she is ready to face Rinna. Like, she's ready to go on and, like, face Rinna, like, head to head and, like, do the damn thing. And I am so ready for it. Hi, Ivy Girl. She says, but also Kathy needs to be checked for always calling Sutton Thomasina. I agree 100%. They just keep the stuff going unnecessarily. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? Those women will never, ever check Kathy Hilton, because behind the scenes, Kathy Hilton runs the damn show. You know what I mean? Like, Kathy, no one will ever cross Kathy. Kyle did it, and look what happened to her. Kyle and Mauricio, they were sisters, and they didn't talk for how many years? Kathy is the one with, like, the real money, and Kathy is the one with the real, like, clout. And I don't think any of those women will ever go against her. That's why Sutton got upset by her calling her Thomasina, but Sutton didn't say anything to Kathy. I don't think any of them will ever go against Kathy. They don't want Kathy Hilton smoke. Hey, Lynette. She says, Sutton's a great addition to the show. I agree. Hey, Clima. She says, yep, I love Sutton. Me too. Natasha Sky, Sutton is that typical Southern waspy rich lady, and it clearly triggers Crystal. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Oh, Natalia says, do you think the Queen of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, LVP, will come back? I hope she does. I hope so too, but I don't think so. Not as long as Kyle and Rinna are there, but I wish she would. Foxy Counselor says, I thought she meant him being concerned about her going into labor. Who's going into labor? Ashley? I don't know. Okay. LaBelle Patricia says, Denise will chicken out and not face Rinna. Oh, I hope not. I hope she faces Rinna. I really hope she does. Oof. Okay, you guys, we have been on here for an hour and a half, so we are going to wrap up this Monday Kiki Fest. I hope you guys had fun chatting about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and then we talked a little bit about our girls over there in Beverly Hills. So yes, you guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next time we go live, which will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. We can do some Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then also maybe just some pop culture trending hot topics. So yeah, you guys, until next time, be well, my lovelies. I'm going to say hi to some people that are in the chat. Natalia, thank you so much, sweetheart. Kathy Lambert, thank you so much. She goes, Kathy is an airhead to me, or maybe she's just trying to be funny with what she says on the show. Yeah, I think it's both ways. I think she's a bit of an airhead, and I think that she's also kind of playing it up for the cameras. Oh, yes. Hey, Linda. She goes, just because Kathy has authority, she shouldn't abuse it by doing what offends another. I agree. Hey, beautiful Natalia. She says, thank you, Candy. Bye. Hey, Klima Wade. She goes, always a good time, Candy. Yes. Linda McIntosh says, thanks a mil, Candy. Of course. Jessica Hardy. Yay. She says, bye, Candy. Yes, yes. Hey, tonight, Hazel. She goes, until next time. Yeah, that's right, you guys. So I love you guys so, so, so much. Tamara Hawkins says, love you in a French bonnet newt. Christine Lambert goes, thank you very much at Candy Gorgeous. Oh, love you too. You guys, this has been so much fun. Just such a good Kiki. I love you guys. As you leave like, subscribe, and share. I thank everyone for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, and until next time, be well. Take care of yourself and each other, and I love you, and thank you for having this fun kiki with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah. Oh, happy news! Oh, I have to say hi. I love this girl. Hey, happy news. She goes, bye, Candy the Candy Canes. We'll watch the replay. Yes. Mwah. Bye, Happy News. Happy Monday. Bye, To Be Native. Bye, Darren Hood. Bye, guys. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.